Today's topic is going to be centered around, a little bit about me, who I am, and also a little bit about why I've decided to start a Lego YouTube channel in general. Hi, and welcome back to Brickanics. My name is Andy, and I'm excited. I'm excited because today is the first episode of Building Brickanics, which is going to be a weekly show that I release every Sunday at 9 a.m. And it's basically just going to be a series that shares my experiences in starting a Lego YouTube channel. So some of the content or things you might expect to find on this show that airs every Sunday at 9 a.m. Would be channel updates, what I'm doing regarding Lego and growing this channel, some insights, some behind the scenes stuff, what kind of tools and methods I'm using to grow the channel. I just thought it would be, good and kind of cool for me, to just get on here and talk a little bit with you about what I'm doing to grow the channel. We just celebrated 50 subscribers, so that's awesome. So there's a lot of growth ahead of us, and there's a lot to share in regards to that. So, no, it's not going to be, hey, this is how you grow a successful YouTube channel, because I haven't done that yet. It's more just about me sharing the experience and starting a Lego YouTube channel, what's working, what's not working, and just sharing my experiences in doing that. And if you find value in it, that's great. And if something is working and I share it, and you happen to be someone who's starting a Lego YouTube channel, you might find some value in that as well. Or, maybe you're willing to share what's working for you in the comments or something like that. And we have a good, kind of system here where we're just sharing, our experiences and growing together. So that's really cool. If you're not growing a Lego YouTube channel, you might find interest in this as well, because you get to see kind of what goes into starting a YouTube channel, what's the thought process, and some different insights into that side of it, outside of just seeing me and my son and whoever else gets involved, collect Lego and share our experiences with Lego itself. So this is more about the channel and the growth of the channel. But I also plan to share just really anything around my experiences in collecting Lego and starting this channel. So, it's good for me because I get to talk about it. I get to share it. I get to look back on it. I get to document in that kind of way. And then maybe it's good for you because you might find some value in it outside of the other types of videos that I've been creating. So kind of really how I plan to do it is just have a couple topics each week. And then, before the show ends, I'll tell you about what the topic is going to be next week. So you kind of have an idea of what to look forward to or not to look forward to. I also plan to not talk too much, which is something else that I hope this channel kind of helps me do, is become a little bit more concise in what it is that I want to say and getting my point across. Something I've learned about myself and that you'll learn about me is that I tend to kind of take the long route to get what I want to say out. And I'd like to just kind of take the quicker A to B route to get my message across. But today's topic is going to be centered around, a little bit about me, who I am, and also a little bit about why I've decided to start a Lego YouTube channel in general. But let's first get the elephant out of the room. Why the green screen? Why the background? And I'll kind of show you here what I'm actually sitting in front of. There, I'm actually sitting in front of a green screen. Turn that back on. And the reason why that is, and I'll get into kind of a little bit about my career and what I do for a living. But I don't really, and this is one of the biggest challenges I've had in creating not only this YouTube channel, but other YouTube channels, is I don't really have a good location for filming, a place that's dedicated to making videos like this or the other types of videos that we make for the channel. So I just figured to be relaxed and to be able to just speak my mind and share what I wanted to share. That this current setting here with the green screen, because you don't want to see what's behind that, is probably going to be the best. And I'm also a little disappointed that I didn't bring my favorite coffee mug with me. I'm a big fan of coffee. I love coffee. Maybe I gain some fans. Maybe I lose some fans here with this mug. I'm not sure. But who doesn't like the Steelers, right? They're just such a great team. Anyway, that's a different channel, different topic, different place. But yeah, so we'll get into the challenges of the location and why that is in a moment. But let's first start off with a little bit about me, who I am, the individual, who Andy is. So first and foremost, I'm a husband and I'm a father, right? I have a beautiful, amazing wife who I love very much, and I have two awesome, amazing children. Mason, you've met, and he's often in the videos with me, and my daughter you have not met. So Mason just turned 5 a couple months ago, and my daughter just turned 1 year of age. So I'm right in the thick of it as far as raising children, which has been an amazing and awesome experience so far. It's just been great. Now, what do I do as a career? Because, obviously this channel is not supporting me financially, is I'm a director of sales training for a $1.5 billion, actually $1.3 billion building materials manufacturing and distribution organization. So I love my job being a director of sales training because I get to create a lot of content from my day job. I create a lot of e-learning content. I get to make different types of videos, and I get to work with people all the time and help them better their careers and further their careers. So that's an amazing job, and I actually plan on doing that. I don't plan on stop doing it. I don't plan to not do that. So the day job is a check. Where I've kind of had a hard time finding my way in directing some of my creative energy has been like the side hobby or what I do in the evenings or weekends. And so let me just explain that a little bit about myself as well. So I'm a really creative person as far as I just find myself to be creative, and I want to be creative, and I like making and creating things. So one of the things that I really found that I enjoyed over my career professionally and personally is creating content. And, I kind of first got into that several years ago when I was a director of marketing for a remodeling company. And I started a different YouTube channel that was centered around sharing sales and marketing advice.
Welcome back to Edge with Andy. Today we're talking about essentials. 5 essentials for every contractor. Let's go.
And that YouTube channel really introduced me to YouTube. It really got me into creating videos and the equipment that goes along with creating videos, and just getting into all that. So I started following all these different types of YouTubers like Peter McKinnon and Jesse Driftwood, Matty Hapoye, if I think I pronounced his last name right, and then Gary Vaynerchuk and all these other Casey Neistat and all these other different YouTubers, right? So I really enjoyed making videos. I had a podcast and was doing those types of things. And then at the beginning of 2019, my company, who I was, partly making these videos for, it was for the general public as far as helping contractors grow their business, but it was supporting, my career with my company and my role within my company. But at the beginning of 2019, I was offered the director of sales training role, and my company moved my family to Ohio, and that's where we live currently. And I never really pictured our living situation in Ohio to be permanent. I always figured it would be 2, 3, 4 years, and then we would move back to our original state of residence. So our housing is a little bit smaller than maybe what we would typically like, and that's why I don't really have the space dedicated to a Lego YouTube studio. That's why in our videos you see that we film really in our kitchen, a dining room / kitchen space. So it's enough room for our family, but it's not enough room to add a dedicated space for filming YouTube videos. And it's not enough space for me to sit comfortably here and have a conversation with you without, kids crying and yelling and screaming and playing and doing that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to a few months from now when we're able to move, get into a bigger house, and hopefully the plan is to have a dedicated space for our Lego and for our YouTube studio. And that's where I really think things for this channel will begin to take off. But that's for another video where I share the short term and long term goals for this channel. But let's talk a little bit about why I decided to start a Lego YouTube channel. Like I mentioned before, right? Hold on, I need some I love coffee. Like I mentioned before, I've always been into creating content. I've always enjoyed creating YouTube videos. I like YouTube. I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. The challenge is me finding a good channel for me to kind of direct that creative energy. I spent a lot of time doing talking head type stuff, sharing sales tips and marketing tips. But honestly, outside of LinkedIn, nobody really follows that kind of content. I mean, there's a few successful YouTubers who share that kind of content, but nothing, incredibly, huge. And also the style of video that I like to make, which is a little bit more of a vlog style. I appreciate that. It's hard to do that with sales training content. It's more like sit down, plop down, and just talk to the screen, which is pretty easy to make, honestly, and it doesn't really allow for a lot of creative energy to kind of flow with the different types of B-rolls that you can make and the cuts and the edits. I really enjoy editing video. So I had a hard time just finding out what type of theme I really wanted to center, my outside energy from my day job towards. So I've started YouTube channels for sales and marketing advice. I've started YouTube channels for, helping contractors grow their business, none of which I really ended up feeling totally passionate about or believed it could be successful in a way that I wanted it to be. So needless to say, a lot of my evening and weekend ventures really kind of fell short of reaching the goal that I wanted it to reach. I didn't necessarily invest a whole lot of time into it because I had the same kind of challenges that I'm faced with on this channel, is just not having necessarily the right place to kind of dive into those. And as you can imagine, being a husband and being a father to 2 young children, you don't necessarily have a whole lot of time to dedicate to your own personal side projects. There's just not a lot of time for that, let alone getting away to a dedicated space to do that. It doesn't really, there's not a lot of time, it doesn't really exist. So again, here I am. Just talking and, kind of taking the long route to making my point. So much so that I've actually lost the point I was trying to make. But back on the topic of why I started a Lego YouTube channel. So let's just get the story, out. So yeah, got the day job, creating content for the day job. It's all good. Really love doing that. But I also like to do something in the evening. And I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I've always wanted to grow a brand. Okay, I've always wanted to start my own brand and grow my own brand. Whether I started out with a personal brand, and I still plan to do some of that personal brand. But I've always enjoyed marketing. I've always enjoyed creating content and the idea of growing a brand. Just haven't necessarily had the right topic to do that for. So I guess it kind of all started with a meme that I shared on Facebook that was relative around my son agreeing that he'd be interested in collecting Lego with me. So he's gotten some Lego sets for his birthday and for Christmas and various things like that. but it was like this Lego Star Wars set that he had gotten, and it kind of reminded me of Darth Vader. And I believe it was it was the Lego Star Wars Advent calendar he had actually gotten this year, and I made this meme. I just asked Mason. I was like, hey, do you want to start collecting Lego with me? And he was like, yeah. So then I shared this meme on Facebook. It was Darth Vader. I'll show you the picture, but it was Darth Vader kind of pumping his fist. And I was right, hey, this is, what it feels like when your son agrees to collect Lego with you. And then one of my friends had commented on that, saying, hey, you might be interested in my son's YouTube channel that he started, which was doing stop motion. So I was like, sure, I'll check it out. So I got on YouTube and watched his son's video of some stop motion that he's done and currently is still doing. And I'll share a link to his channel below. So look for that in the kind of about section of this video. But, in watching that video, then, suggested videos started coming up, and I started seeing more and more videos and how people were creating videos centered around Lego. And then I started coming across, like Ash and Flash, Just Too Good, M&R Productions, Brickatect. And then I started seeing some other things that I really enjoyed, which was like, I believe it's Solid Brick Studios and the Brick Whiz. And I started seeing these big, huge mocks. And I just started diving into those videos a little bit more. And then, I saw how Brickatect was making videos with his son. And I was like, man, isn't that really kind of like a nice early kind of solution here? It's relaxing. I can do it almost anytime at home with my son. I can just turn the camera on, start making some videos, and I can just kind of share in this journey. It's kind of like combining everything in one. It's combining, spending time with my son. It's combining collecting Lego, which I've, found a new joy for personally myself. Not just about, doing it with Mason, but just personally myself. I enjoy Lego. So we're kind of sharing in this passion together. And then I can combine it with my passion for creating content and wanting to start YouTube and wanting to start a brand. And so then I just started thinking about how I might put this all together into a YouTube brand, which has now become Brickanics. So I hope I was able to explain what it was or the story behind how I started this channel. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. It's just a combination of everything that I enjoy together in one place. And I do have some good long-term goals for this channel. I don't want it to be just about me sitting down by myself making Lego and reviewing Lego, or videos of me and Mason making videos together, although I enjoy that and that will always be a part of the channel. But I do have some other visions for what this brand Brickanics is and what this channel might evolve to, and those are the things that I'd like to share with you in these types of videos. So that was a lot of me talking, and that's not all I want to do in this series of Building Brickanics. I want to share videos of the tools and resources that we're using, share with you how we make our videos, talk a little bit about the editing software that we use, talk about this mic, which is a Shure mic. I'm going to pick this up, but talk about this, which is an HN4 HN4 Pro recorder. I don't know if I'm going to use the audio from that or going to use the audio from what I'm recording on right now, which is Zoom. I'm actually not even recording on the camera. I'm using the Zoom, which just makes it easy. But I'll talk to you about the different ways that I go about making videos. In the spirit of keeping these videos short and sweet, I'll just say, if you're interested in videos like this, if you want to follow our channel, if you want to follow the experiences that we share in collecting Lego, hit the subscribe button and just follow along. I plan to post pretty regularly different types of videos and just share our experiences in collecting Lego. Love to have you kind of join along. I'm really big on community, and those who have been following me this far know that I give back, and I'm just all about supporting others and kind of being part of the Lego community as a whole. So thank you for watching this first episode of Building Brickanics. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I certainly would like to watch this back and see how that turned out. If I was clear on what I was getting across, if you understood who I was and why I started this channel, hopefully that came across pretty clear. Next week, I'm going to talk about the short-term goals for the channel and the long-term goals for the channel. But that's it. Thanks for drinking coffee with me. If you're drinking coffee, or at least whatever. Cheers. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next video.